We have challenges, we have opportunity as well, and we embrace those as we go forward. Blessed good morning to all those who are logged on to 91.9 FM, those who join us via Facebook, those who join us via YouTube, or just on the radio. Good morning to all the working people across Trinidad and Tobago. And that is, of course, one of the biggest and burning perspectives in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to ensure that we can get people working. It's beyond essential. The opportunity to contribute to Trinidad and Tobago to earn a living is absolutely essential. It's not beyond just, people speak about rights. Once you are alive, that there is that necessity to take care of yourself, and by extension, if you have dependents as well. And therefore, all administrators, all representatives, all leaders have to have that in mind as essential. Finding a way to stimulate your economy sufficiently to provide not just that assistance hand or whatever, for those who are in a position of need, but to create the conditions for opportunities to work, to set the framework, to set the society in a way that there are opportunities, there are things to do, meaningful things to do. And I came across an article that stood out to me. Certainly in the introduction in itself, it stood out to me because it really spoke towards what I believe and what I think is paramount for us as a nation. Right? And I found the words and the explanation so profound. The headline, part of the headline was that Trinidad and Tobago can't afford to keep buying time. Right? Hear it out there. Trinidad and Tobago, we cannot afford to keep buying time. If people have listened to me ever so often, right, you don't have to stomach me every morning, but if you choose, well, thanks. You would have understood that position explained by me as well. I feel strongly that the potential that we have as a nation, we have not realized. And I'm not the only one. That is constant commentary that you would hear from other intelligent people. Right? I class myself in the group of intelligence. But we have been buying time with our budgets, with our reliance on our oil and our gas and whatever other downstream derivatives from this blessing. We have been stuck in a place of buying time, of not actually getting to the business of development of our country. Yeah, we fix some infrastructure. Yeah, we build some things, substantial things. the development of Trinidad and Tobago in terms of infrastructure as a Caribbean island is significant. But we have missed so much of an opportunity to truly build a strong, resilient economy, of course, and society wider. We have spent money in directions where we placate, we ease situation, we ease tensions, we spend to assist individuals in different ways. We say that we are assisting them. We say that we are assisting them. Of course, most of the spending comes from government as well. That claims in many cases that it is assisting when the underlying intention may be much more sinister. That's for you all to judge, right? Intention is a difficult thing to judge. But it would appear to me that we placate, that we ensure that we have certain people where we want them, from that mindset of control and power. But to build an economy, to build and to forge towards a direction, to set agendas, to set a vision and a plan, and execute towards it. Whew. And it is evident in every sector of our society how badly we have failed. It is evident that there are few, not anomalies, not one-off good situations, but there are few structural successes that we could look towards and say, hey, we could be proud of this. This is a model. We set this in order. We set this as a goal and an objective. We work towards it and we have achieved. We are tremendously disorganized as a people. Tremendously disorganized. Sometimes I describe Trinidad and Tobago as a gold rush kind of, just everybody plundering, looting, just trying to grab whatever. But that collective national objective and desire to reach to a place where everyone can truly benefit from this country, it feels as though it is so absent for so long. Beyond myopic, this group, my group, I want to ensure that I and we time now and this time, but a clear perspective. And I know while we boast of unity, which is a facet of our nation, which is something that we can exemplify across the world, I know that beyond that cultural unity sometimes that we display so well, that unity in purpose, unity in national objective is lacking. That the buy-in across classes in Trinidad and Tobago, understand what I say, across classes, is not there because it has not been outlined to be achieved. When I travel to other, beyond just countries, yes, when I travel to other societies, the underlying principles, the underlying mentality, if you want to call it, the underlying culture, the underlying theory is oftentimes solid, and therefore that foundation is what everything else is built upon. But what we say, and what I want people to understand, is that there's only so long you could really continue just buying time before you actually get real, get serious, and make the reforms, make the changes, invest. Investment is essential. Deficits have become a thing of norm. But the spending must be investment. And true investment, and not an excuse to plunder, not an excuse to enrich, not an opportunity to shift wealth, but an opportunity to grow your economy, an opportunity to identify and to work assiduously to really hit and hammer home a direction that brings shared prosperity to our nation. Otherwise, we buy in time, and in case you're not realizing, if all you do is buy time, you run out of money. You run out of money buying time. You run out of money just putting behind this and that. You run out of money running behind 200 and something dead for the year. You run out of money investing, spending. It's not even investing. $6 billion to try to curb the killing citizens. You run out of money trying to cork holes of inefficiency. When you can shift inefficiency to productivity, when you can shift time, energy, life from being paid to do nothing to being remunerated for productivity, from being paid, giving out as a minus, to putting in as a plus, and earning a keep, and earning not just what is invested but even beyond, so adding to your economy. We buy in time. We have bought time for a very long time, and it has been costly. Billions, trillions of dollars, Trinidad and Tobago, over decades. Buying time, and not going forward as a country, becoming more civilized, becoming more productive, becoming more stable, but erosion, going backward. Imagine paying a driver, for example, to go to a destination, and he take you back He take you further away from a destination. Jesus. He takes shortcuts that are long cuts. He never had in his mind that destination that you would have contemplated. His goal is not shared prosperity and the uplifting of our country. His goal is loot and plunder, or retention of power by the destruction of your society itself. That's a dread one, eh? That's a dread one. This chaos theory. And it is rooted in the philosophy that we underpin our society with. It is rooted in this crass capitalism as well. We run in a destructive model and expect success. Well, I don't even know who expects success. Some people just glad they could go to the rum shop. Some people just day by day. Some people losing it. Some people just losing it. Whenever I see somebody homeless, on drugs, mentally, whatever, on the streets of Trinidad, and you see that every single day, you should be able to understand that in this place, under the weight, they lose it. It's not easy. Brain drain after brain drain. Brain drain is when all your best and brightest, all those who are ambitious, take the step to move, to go somewhere else, to do something else in another space. And because of their drive, their ambition, their education, their desire, they contribute to other societies and they build other places. And we lose. That's why the necessity for change is beyond important. It is essential for our survival. And that's why we must advocate now with our voices, with our programs as we speak to each other. And we must think not just at this little mundane dotishness, yada yada. Yes, we will talk about some of the little dotishness on the news. But we must think, where are we going? That should be in our national space as a national conversation. We take the break and we'll take the views of the callers as well. I know there are people who have this understanding, and I thank God that there are other people, and an economist could say it in such wonderful words so that I alone don't have to say it. We'll take the break and we'll be back.
Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on The Street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big D nation, cause you don't know we will be crowned. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together, because KFC is life. It's a big D.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
The safest vet in Trinidad heads to the shores of Pigeon Point, Tobago. Army Vet Tobago. Sirens and Stallions.
Yes, sir.
The undisputed king of events for Tobago Carnival 2024 is back. Bigger, safer, and beachier. On Thursday, 23rd October, from 3 p.m., calling all Sirens and Stallions, march down to Pigeon Point Beach for the biggest lineup for the season. Lyrical.
Like you get so tell me why you're rocking.
Nyla Blackman, Young Brother. IWER George, Mikhaltasia.
Everybody charge up, we going higher.
Orphanal, Psy King Ding Dong.
I wanna party.
Dev, J-Del, Waddix. 2025 Soca Champion Sucre, and more. Big DJs, and hosted by the one and only Junior Lee. Beachfront early birds, $250. A Calvary all-inclusive VIP deck, $800. Get them now before they go up. Army Vet Tobago, Thursday, 23rd October. Powered by Awesome Sounds and secured by the Defense Force.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launch from Kings Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Again, good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and all those who are locked on. Share the live. Share to people as well the ideas and the notions as well. Sometimes things come to me and it is profound. It has a lot of sense in it, and it's not my ideas per se, or it is ideas that I could not have expressed better, and I then translate it and share it to others as well. The more people that we can educate, the stronger that our society will become, the stronger our country becomes. And I've seen some, excellent views, even online as well. People expressing that, sometimes they demonize individuals who leave Trinidad and Tobago to find better space. Good morning to my cousins and my friends and others. I remember at one time studying abroad and encouraging people to come back home. And there are other periods in time where, when I think about it, I may not encourage people at that point in time to come based on where Trinidad and Tobago is. Seriously, myself and others would have contemplated finding an alternative place for our families to live and to grow up and to find work and an opportunity under the last administration, because it was, in our opinion, I know for those people who see no wrong, find endless excuse, they may have other opinions, and I can understand that. Or those people who were winning for Mr. Cummings and his family, I'm sure Trinidad was wonderful to them. But people seriously contemplate leaving. And that this change in administration and the hope that exists gives people a little sense that maybe we can get it right. But we also, as Trinbagonians, need to become more intelligent and to put a little bit more into directing our nation in the right way. And I see that as well online. People ask how we could be part of something to shape our country, not just what exists as organizations. This caller calling back, right? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Ford.
Hey, morning. I didn't realize the number.
Yes, well, that's how it is sometimes. I heard you spoke about brain drain. That's a reality. A lot of brilliant people live in this country. Some coming from the oil industry. They're going to Guyana. Some going to the Middle East and all that kind of thing. You have a number of top doctors, consultants, and what who have already left this country. So it means that people who are, they find themselves afflicted by whatever, they may have difficulty or challenges in accessing high quality healthcare. All these different things, because people are moving out, and if the economy is not doing well, then they have to, and then a question of crime and all these different things. They move on. They're not going to stay here. Some of them have their dual citizenship. They acquire green card and all that kind, and they're gone. That's how it is. They have their family away, and some of them they're in Trinidad here, but they have their businesses here and they remain here. They live in gated communities, and their children in Miami and whatnot studying. That's how it is, and people have to understand that. And it doesn't seem among the people themselves any sense of urgency in terms of where this economy is going and where the society is. We're talking about development. We're talking about improving the people, the quality, standard of living, quality of life of the people. Where are we going? And this is it. And the state of the economy, we have to look at that, because the central bank report for the first quarter, when we talk about the first quarter, we have 4 quarters in a year. The first 3 months of this year, it reflected where the economy contracted by 2.1%. So we're not growing the economy, it's contracting. The fact remains also that the reserves, which was in 2015, was almost $11 billion, is now $4.6 billion, and made up of borrowings and money taken out of the HFS, which is your sovereign wealth fund. So people have to understand where we're going, and we look at the level of, we're talking about the workforce population we're talking about is almost 54%. It means more people are now not looking for work. People are not looking, and that tells you a story. You have high levels of unemployment. This is what it spells out. So we have to treat this with a high level of urgency, and people must understand, and this is where people are not focusing. If the economy continue to decline and things, there's no money, right? And people can't get jobs. What it means here is the economy declines. It means that you have problems with accessing health, the provision of health care, sufficient or adequate health care. You have problems with respect to schools. You have unemployment. You have an increase in social problems. And you see what is happening outside there, murder every day, this one killing. You have more disturbances or dysfunctional family, man and wife fighting, and they know that too. We know that the poor people know that. When you have things that are bad with families, you have friction.
Yeah.
They know that. And I'm saying that each one of us has that responsibility to ensure. Forget those rumor mongers and fear mongers and that kind of thing, because you are the ones who are going to feel it, you know. We are going to feel it.
Yeah.
Your children, what are you leaving for your children? You just envision you leave as a poor man. Now I ain't talking about those middle class bourgeois blacks, you know. I ain't talking about them. They're business six.
Yeah.
You are the lowest stratum of the society. Think about you passed away, you depart this life, and you leave your children and your grandchildren here. What they are, the earth they would inherit in this country here. Think about that. Envision that. Envision next 10 years, if things don't improve in this country, what the hell they would find themselves in.
Yeah.
You just envision that. So this is all I want. Nobody tells people. I could probably sit back and watch at it, because I pass through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. I see what happens in other countries. I see where this country is going.
Yeah.
And if people don't operate or move with a sense of urgency, understand, and we talk about people taking response, you talk about savings and spending, you can't spend everything you have. People, that carnival mentality and anything go, you have to save. You have to put something aside. It is at $10 aside. You have to put that aside. Yes, you need to spend. And they say, we don't spend. And that is glory for you, you know. You spending. You go in and buy 10 box of chicken and chips and whatnot. You spending and nothing for tomorrow. You, partner, Mr. Abubakar, may call again. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. West. I mean, if we don't feel it, we may not understand it, but so many of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago feel it. They should be understanding what is going on, and I'm not saying there should be a sense of panic, but there has to be a level of urgency in the way that we think, at least in the way that we reform our thinking about our society. You know what I find? I find that it is a constant trend that a few just they want to get rich enough so that none of the problems affect them. That's just which is unsustainable for everyone. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Sorry about that, right? And, you know, I do want to hear the views of others. I've seen some of the views online as well. Time is the only currency you spend without ever knowing your balance. Very true. Use time wisely. Thank you very much for those comments as well. Good morning. Sorry, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, morning, Prezi.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, God. This morning, I've seen a nice day. The overcast for the week yesterday. And I think could have things today. But we hope for the best. And we keep the day going so that we could profit in the day. Although I know I'm not hearing on the children that we buy in time. Yeah. Well, I want to ask the question, who will be buying the time? I wonder if it's the politicians, the police, the security, massa, or if it's we. And what we buying time for? You know, because I still long pondering on your statement, we buying time. I know if we buying time for failure.
Yeah.
We buying time for destruction. We buying time for a set of people to be greedy and destroy the society, dignity, and destiny. All of that is what I come up with buying time, you know, because I want to know to myself, because I ask myself, what time are you really buying?
Yeah, you ain't buying no time. The people ain't buying no time. There are no money.
I must be preparing a debt.
Yeah.
So I'm buying time to dead, to destroy my living survival at the best that it should have been. I don't care, so be greedy, be covetous, be all the ills.
Yeah.
To eventually dead without a conscious destiny. A buying time. I wonder if it's me or if it's the politician. But then the politician is who are put there. So if I do stupid being a slave in the society and then developing, I wonder if it's me or the politician. I can't ask myself them question because who buying time?
Yeah.
And, you know?
Yeah.
So I ask the question now because I give a lot there for me to really look into it more. Everywhere just sit down and let the 2-3 politicians on top buy time to be greedy and melt this country right down until the death. And who buying time? And who encouraging time to be bought? After any day, who encouraging time to be bought? Like we really don't care. And I'm watching it well. Papa God him a job to do to show people truth upon this existence. Let them understand how truth works, why truth works, why truth is. The existence is truth, reality is truth, nature is truth. Existence teaches, it guides, it guards, it disciplines. All you learn from is experience from the day you're born till the day you shall die. And yet we're not seeing truth as the creator, as God. I'm using words I don't want to use no name, I won't name no way. I'm using the emotional consciousness that we're living with. The only thing that guides God, disciplines and teaches you in this existence, because you never see no creator. You never see no God. But you're seeing the truth to live out of the experience. That thought that is in the experience is the thought that the Creator created. That is the Creator since you never see one. We buying time to destruction. Then we buying time to die. Thank you.
Yeah.
Imam Fuad Abubakar. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, God, for giving them a knowledge there that they're supposed to get to know that truth is thyself. And within you is God when you truthful, are you truthful? Because truth in you teaches you. Thank you again. The word.
Sorry, thank you very much, Prezi. Sorry, my finger on the trigger, and you know it goes sometimes. Sorry. Are we just buying time, or are we investing into moving towards a better place, a sustainable place? Are we really prepared? Are the minds of our people prepared for where we are going? Is it a all hands on deck? This is what we are about. This is where we are, and this is where we want to be. Or is it just grab and thief and do whatever and blah 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 and pack a scarce? When we done eat everything here, we just move to another planet. And tough. Who could afford to run will run, but what about those who care? They will have to stay. Opportunity, a scarce commodity, and this time I say, is it that? Is it that? And are we so lost as a people that we don't even understand what it is, where we're going, what the system is? Are we so caught that we just scraping on an everyday? I tell you, 10 years and you feel like you went backward. You know when you're playing snakes and ladder and you hit that big snake and you go straight back down? I know within the society that exists in many occasions, or in many cases. You work, you build, and big snake. Okay, some is outside of our control, and this global pandemic, whatever thing, COVID, yada, yes, that as well. But other than that as well, and how now do we pick up? And that is what we are hopeful and look forward to.
And that is what we are hopeful and look forward to.
Look, what do you do, the KFC? Welcome.
Yeah, really TV. Blessed morning, forward.
Hey, blessed morning, brother.
See, Dave Relay, let the Lord take his course. No matter how big or small, the law is for everybody. Not so?
Of course, of course.
I look at the Honorable the Prime Minister, not point 2, point 1, she's point 2, point 2. Let the Relay step aside and claim him. If you ever come back, you come back.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your opinion on that matter there.
Bless.
Yeah. And of course, in every institution in Trinidad and Tobago, where has it gone? All right, there's some temporary extreme measures being taken against crime and criminality to a certain extent with SOE, mass arrest, etc. Okay, where are we going with this? How do we sustain not the extremity? How do we sustain the changes that will create a society that kills each other less? What are the measures, long-term, short-term, that have been we have to take them as if it is a desperate and absolutely necessary step, because it is, to fix madness, to fix chaos that was allowed, chaos that became commonplace, chaos that seeped into our culture to an extent that it normalized, where if you didn't see certain things every day on the news, you want to know what happened. You almost look forward. I seek refuge from now, even you almost look in expectation of blood and shooting and this and that. Young people who don't know what they're doing. One side of Mount Hope, warring with the next side. For what? Where's the implementation of a system to deal with the conflict that reaches to that kind of crazy violence? Where's the step to ensure that young people understand the value of life, so that it might be an argument, a quarrel, or whatever, and a disputation, and they work it out, but it never descends to a place where life, far more indiscriminate life, whoever get shoot, who dead, whoever. Where are we going, or are we just buying time? If we are faced with a serious challenge tomorrow and we have to be self-reliant, can we up our production in food, whatever, dairy, cattle, chicken, ground, whatever, so that we can provide for ourselves? Has that ever been contemplated within our national scope and space? What is our food reserve? Or if the containers finish or stop tomorrow, we starve? How do we ameliorate, fix this parental problem that we have? How do we fix that so that we can shape a society and shape young people with a different outlook and mentality towards life? How are we going to engineer to prioritize production, to prioritize productivity? Are we going to take our film? Are we going to take our music, take our influencers, our entertainers, sit them down and say to them, hey, here what's going on. Y'all shape our society. Y'all have a huge impact on the society. This is our agenda. This is what we want to do. Let's do this. Instead of whatever crazy culture and attitudes from abroad, from the US, wherever, you just take it and put it here, or the worst and the base in our culture, because some of it is from us as well. We just amplify it and repeat it and laugh at ourselves and act it out again and again. We need that leadership. We need that direction. And when we see different things being done, that is something that should give us a sense of hope. Because if we do the same thing that we doing before. That's the easiest thing to do, you know. We going nowhere. For a matter of fact, we going backwards. We going backwards as a nation. So I found that statement in itself profound. The Economist also outlined where the economy is the shrinking of our economy in the first quarter. They also outlined, yes, there is this hopeful position in terms of our ability to increase our energy revenue in the not too distant future, and that would augur well for us. More money, but more money, a fool and his money soon departs. You could have what you think is endless money. If you don't spend it properly, it will end, it will done. And she outlines the fragility of the economy that we have inherited. She outlines even the Standard and Poor global outlook that has been shifted to negative, right? And stated that we risk the downgrade that will see us when you are downgraded in their outlooks. You run the risk of having to pay more for money, pay more to borrow. You run the risk of being seen in that light that, hey, that country, they're not managing themselves properly, and therefore you don't want to do business with them. Why on earth Trinidad and Tobago has allowed itself to reach a position where we are in these levels of deficit, and we are not earning what we should be earning because we invested windfalls of money when we could have sing money ain't no problem in Trinidad and Tobago. We chose paths to maybe, I don't know, you all could speak about it, I don't know, maybe. We chose paths to ensure political power instead of productivity. We chose paths to allow a few to capitalize and become economically tremendous by size instead of building the masses of our people. But we placate them, we throw crumbs, you know, throw crumbs ever so often. And we cannot afford to. We cannot afford to just continually take that path. That's what we're saying. We cannot continue to do that. So we look forward to a budget, which is an economic outline of how these things are going to be achieved. Right? We look forward to, yes, some deficit spending, which means more money is going to be spent than the money that is coming in revenue, because the government would need more money to invest in directions that will set us up for a brighter future, and also deal with whatever is immediate in front of us in terms of recurring expenditure. We look, and myself and the people of Trinidad and Tobago at this point, we need to look carefully at what is taking place. We need to understand where the direction is, and we have to make efforts as well to see how we can contribute positively. If we see that this agriculture, we see that that tourism, we see that whatever, yeah, like my tongue slip, terrorism from certain countries seem to be the biggest business they have, reaping in billions of dollars. Tourism for us, we don't have no big companies making weapons and bombs and whatever, and then selling it to the self, using it, creating wars to use it, and then paying themselves. Gangstering in Trinbagonian Palang, gangstering, taking advantage, bullying people so that they have to pay tribute and protection money. Our economics is not like that. We don't have that ability. Morning, caller.
Mr. Good morning to you.
Hey, morning. As I talk about your country, your call boy.
But big brother, there's a lot of people who try to call because they can't make a contribution without me.
Yeah. You gotta speak for some people. You gotta speak, man. You gotta speak for the people sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't wait for nobody to call, or listen to a contribution and say, I will call now. I get that energy to call because no, don't wait for to call to try to shoot down my comment. You do your calling, make your point. So I support your party. I have no problem with that. But I support in Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't care who they, because I don't look at myself as Africa or India like them. I am not racist. I have no racist bone in my body. I have none. Because if I was racist, I would never go in an East Indian party and stay 9 years. It is why that many of TNM people in Point 14, in Napuna, in Labre hold the vote. They hold the vote. And these 100,000 people who hold the vote, these voters, they're watching to see what's happening, People from Portsmouth South vote. People from the Martin vote. But watch the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. Point 14, Labre is PNM. The party there in Guyana, where what and Granger and them control the so-called African party there. The man said, but wait, my people didn't come out and vote. He said, my people reject the vote, but hear what he means, and hear what that means when they say that people didn't come out to vote, right? You have a base. Kingsley have a base. Some of my base stay home, and some of my base went and vote for another party. So they didn't vote, they didn't come out and vote for me. They went and some of them reject. They say, okay, I supporting Kingsley, but I can't vote for no other party than Kingsley, so I stay home. Some of them who support Kingsley, they said, no, tell the Kingsley, we're going to vote for Baka. That's when somebody said the people hold the vote. Say it's common sense now what you are in this country, You see that bacchanal and that racist behavior? Trying to divide this country, trying to belittle human beings. I say I will defend that. Because all of us here have to live here. And not because UNC in power, I want to tell that, mean begging, I cussing. Mean begging, I cussing, I mean don't want to pity because I enough pity us. I don't know, no shake hand because I got enough shake hand. So me and again, I cussing. I want to make it clear. I'm going on my knees and beg. I dine with my head up and my foot with my boots, and I avoid all who come in the way. All who come in the way. Because I want to tell you this. I lost friends in the last 9 years, and I will lost friends in the next 4 years again. You know. I lost friends in the last 9 years, and I gained friends. And I know I'm going to lose friends in this 4 years. Because I am not a fanatic. I am not no party loyalist. I know politicians who people cussing for. There's friends. I sit down and I see the enemy of my friend come to office. I see people when they meet people down in Westmoreland for election. I see people calling people and making deals. What are these friends? So why I will be so emotional? Why are we be so emotional? What I do not understand what's going on. I can remember sitting down in MP office and seeing opposition coming in and out, government ministers coming in and out, things passing. So why I, Kingsley, they be so emotional, not for country, but for India. Because you're here Indian, they don't care about this country. I said no. You know why I support the Prime Minister? When she's swearing, she showed the racist Indian. This is not about swearing on the Gita Bible. She's swearing on the Constitution to hold the law. The Constitution, the law. Up to a higher. After every queen and race find an equal place in Trinidad and Tobago. Together we aspire, together we achieve. And I'm not going on that road again. Numbers don't lie. When I say that these people hold the vote, I want to make it clear as I leave again. My voting bank decide to hold the vote. Because, can you be real? Who believes that Library will go to UNC? Watch the numbers. Don't come to argue a point because he's a fanatic and he's a racist and they want to cry down a set of African people in this country. You black too. Your children black too. All are we black? Because if you ever go in America, you know what Kamala say at time? She said that she was in America or England. She going to do some studies. And she was taking a walk, some park. And she see that elderly person fall down, a white person fall down. And she went to help that person. When she realized there's black and white. There's no Indian in America, you know. There's no Indian in America, you know. They consider you black. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Blessings. And I just wanted to read a little bit from that particular article as well. We cannot afford another budget that just buys time. This is the moment to lay the foundation for a new growth trajectory. If we get it right, we can turn today's economic warning into tomorrow's recovery. We can, with the right messaging, attract investment, create jobs, and prove Trinidad and Tobago can thrive beyond the energy boom years. If we get it wrong, we risk drifting into stagnation, higher debt costs, and a more painful reckoning later. Budget 2026 must show this government is not content to manage decline, but determined to rebuild the economy, not just for next year's numbers, but for the next generation. A tremendous responsibility and mandate. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do not envy the responsibility that our Prime Minister has, nor our other ministers have as well. It is a tremendous mandate on the back of tremendous challenges. Morning, Mr. West.
Morning again, Mr.
Yeah, man. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, it's a Herculean task. And I don't know who wrote that article. You wish to...
I purposefully did not say the author.
All right.
But that's, no, then, but now it's fine. It is Indira Sajwan, someone that you quote as well.
Right.
But Trinidad and Tobago, you see, this is how far I read into the psyche of our people at times as well.
Yes.
You leave out the author.
Yes.
Because people read into a name more than into the substance of what people say.
Yes, that's a fact. And the thing about it is that those are the economists that we have in this country here. They are professionals, and therefore we look towards them for guidance in terms of economic understanding or understanding the economy. And one thing I find about I looked at this country. Why does I ask myself sometimes why do we consume ourselves, our time with the past? The past is important, yes, in that it provides you with some understanding or learning as to where you went wrong and what you need to correct, what you need to do differently. But when you take up all your time with the past, you can't go forward. You understand what mistakes you make, where you went wrong, and therefore you come up with a plan, a solution, a plan to solve the problem. You cannot immerse yourself in the past. You can't be looking back. And that is the problem with most of these people, and that is why some people can't advance. Because if you go to a class, you go to school, and the teacher gives you 5 marks. What I'm concerned with, yes, I want to know why I got 5 marks. And then I have to embark on a plan to make 10 marks. I can't be tied up with, but she didn't like me, and she used to put me in the back of the class. And I mean, you can't advance. You can't drive a car to go forward and you're looking backwards. You have to put your head. You have to look ahead. And this is where people come and tie up with Mamu this and Mamu that, and this one they do that, and that ain't carrying you nowhere, my friend. You have to look and associate with people who are forward-looking, not backward. You have a gentleman that's come sometime on the program, but we come very late sometimes, and he makes some profound statements that people have to learn from, could benefit from. And that's one of the reasons why in the past I never listened to radio, I never listened to the radio programs because it's too much of nonsense. Too much. You have to look forward. You have to find a plan, and that's why some are successful and some are not. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. West. And this is what we are attempting to do. And we will have some probably more in-depth discussions into the budget in particular and what it is. And that is why I sought to explain as well what this economic outlook is. There are times when this budget is presented to us, it would be exposed in a certain way, explained in a certain way, but in reality the spending sometimes is not done, and sometimes the goals that are spoken about are not achieved. These overlying directives that I've just outlined are important for Trinidad and Tobago to forge towards a better future for all of us. It is not 2 million, 10 million $1 billion in this area because somebody business want to capitalize on that and become rich. And it is about the entire picture and picking up a society and driving it forward economically and otherwise. And all of us as a people should pay attention, understand what we want, and participate in creating the future that we want. And I'm saying that a lot has to be done. The communication, the messaging, for citizens to know what part they have to play. For them to even understand that there is a direction beyond just work and survive today, tomorrow, whatever. We almost lost. We almost just drifting. If we compare our nation to a boat, a ship, we almost just drifting. And we have been drifting for some time. Captain inside wherever quarters that he have, having a good time, right? Well, inside the ship ain't so big, right? So he must be playing miniature golf or whatever there, just having a good time while we drifting. While people on the boat, all the members and staff who fighting over what, who fighting over this, because they ain't even active in the pursuit of a destination. They're not even collectively unified in the pursuit of a goal. So in their idle, wasteful time, they're shooting each other, fighting each other, just chaos and mayhem. And we must pick ourselves up from that place. I do not envy the responsibility, but we all have to do what we can as well to realize this turnaround for our own benefit and the benefit of our children, or else, boy, we might have to contemplate migration. Good morning, caller.
Hi.
Yes, wa alaikum salam, welcome.
I'm enjoying this program this morning because it's one with really solid talk. One that actually encourages the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago to look deeper, look deep within, and ask yourself some pertinent questions, you know. So, I live in Navantel, I work here. That's why it doesn't anything. When you're going to an exam room, you're going there with 100% pass. How you scratch a paper, it determines whether you maintain that 100% mark or it diminishes at the end of the exam. And I believe in giving every government that comes into office the fair chance. Give them that support because they are in government through a democratic process and they all need that support to take Trinidad and Tobago where all of us wanted to go. The survival of Trinidad and Tobago is not about party and race. It's about a united front from our people who have struggled in more ways than one. Be it we come from east or we come from the west, we are here together and we are in this melting pot and we need to unite in a most positive way, not just by talk, but in a positive way to make Trinidad and Tobago go forward.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. I couldn't surmise better than that, and we appreciate the callers who constantly contribute to the conversation. I ask people, don't be intimidated by the radio, by the internet. You know, we have other forums as well where people share their views that are maybe a little easier online on YouTube, IWER TV, on Facebook as well, so that we could all benefit from your experience and the way that you explain things as well. I certainly am not one to discount the contribution that people have. And if we are to understand our nation, we have to see it through the eyes of the people who are part of this nation, who make up Trinidad and Tobago. I see somebody raising the point even of NIS and the pension crunch that we anticipate in Trinidad and Tobago. Again, there are challenges that we will face, and we have to face sooner rather than later. And they take a certain level of effort, of determination, of discipline to straighten out. It cannot be that we just buy in time. Let me know if that is all we're doing, and if I realize that's all Trinidad and Tobago doing, then I have to adjust to suit. Because that model of existence head in one way. That head in one direction. And there are people, and there have been people who resign themselves to this notion that it is what it is, you know. That they're not even making an effort for change. Understand that. And those people are extremely dangerous in positions of leadership, who they didn't have no intent, they didn't do nothing. They content the way it was. Some of them do not even believe that it can change. Some of them have no aspiration towards improvement because they're good. They want to maintain the status quo. For a matter of fact, we have seen over the past 10 years, they want to consolidate the status quo. Which means then, in turn, as things become more difficult, everybody else feeling the pain and the pinch. And we reject that. And we rejected it. So now we have to forge our way forward. And we have these immense challenges that we have to face as a nation together. Bring the stakeholders in. Bring these influential people who can make a difference. And let us get this job of recalibrating and redirecting Trinidad and Tobago done. Let us get it in train. That is the challenge that we face today. Or we could continue down this perilous road that we have been on for a very long time to destruction. Alright, so we'll be back tomorrow and we'll be discussing budget a little more in depth as well, so you can share your views and your expectations. and of course whatever other current events are taking place. Blessings and love to all of my brothers and sisters of this beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Take care.
Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Friday evenings from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective, and you will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly, to love, have mercy,